What type of social following did you have when you first got started? How many followers does it take to become valuable to a brand? So, really good question. I had zero. I'd never used Twitter before. September of 2008, I was on Facebook with 100 friends that my roommate had set up my account for so that I believe he could talk to other girls. And I'm not kidding because I think that's hilarious and that's what you did in college. Again, never created a YouTube video, nothing. I mean, bare bones, just getting started. And I think I got in, before the big rush of people on Twitter, which was cool. So it was easier to get people to follow you because there weren't so many people, there weren't so many businesses. But creativity will always get you a following or help you build a community. And creating value will do the same thing. Maybe you're not the most creative company or the most creative person, but if you can think of something that's unique or different, you can tend to get people to follow you for those things. If you're just another consultant or another social media person or another thing, there's nothing wrong with that. But like, how can you get creative with it? How can you do something unique? Because that's what's going to get people to follow you. And the other thing, I'm going to answer the question about the valuable to a brand, but do you need a big following? Like I see all these people that want to get thousands of followers on Twitter, and I'll tell you from someone who has gotten to that point is that I have huge expectations now for that audience, right? Like I get bummed out when like a lot of people don't follow, look at something, and it's not because they're not necessarily not interested in the stuff I'm doing anymore. It's because everybody's getting hit with stuff all over the place, right? So we're in this time now where there's so much information being poured into everybody's feeds every single day. It's hard to break through that. So if you can build a much more engaged audience, like I would rather have a following of 400 people than the 40,000 that I have now. If all 400 people always commented and interacted, and if I could go back in time, that's probably something that I would work on. I would build more engaged relationships with people and make them want to look at my stuff and have a better relationship with them. But some of that stuff's out of your control, and some of that stuff I wouldn't have known until I got through it over the year. And so for your second part of your question, how many followers does it take to become valuable to a brand? There's no secret number. Just because you have 20 followers or 200 followers or 2,000 followers, I know that there is some vanity to that, and some brands might look at it and go, oh, well, he only has 20 followers, I'm not going to work with him. You're probably not going to want to work with that brand anyway, because if that's all they care about, they're not going to love the ROI that you're going to be able to present them with, because all they're going to care about is numbers. And you know what? That game is over and done with. The eyeball game, the impression game, that stuff is just it's not valuable anymore. And people think it is, but it's not. I mean, the billboards of the world are going to be coming down, or something's going to change, and they're going to just shoot fireworks off of every one of them because no one's looking at that stuff anymore. No one cares how many eyeballs you have. It's what you can do that's different. It's what you can do that stands out. It's what you can do that provides value. So don't worry about how many followers you have. Worry about like the power of the couple followers that you do have and how you can really provide value or do something unique with them.